Hello everyone, my name is Ankit Jain. I welcome you all to my channel Tech Journey with Ankit. Today's video I want to start with a thanks note. Many of you do reach out to me to let me know that how this interview series are helping all of you to get your job, and that's the best feeling that I get when if any one of you reach out to me and tell me that because of this particular video or because of this particular scenario I was able to make it into my interview. Again, if you folks have also experienced similar kind of a question in your interviews as well, please let me know either in the comment section or on the LinkedIn or any channel that you folks can think of, and please pass your thoughts to me. Again, I wish all of you the best of luck for your interview preparation, and we'll get started with the next scenario for today, which is again a more real-time scenario. This is the scenario that many times I heard out of the 10 folks that they do say that they have been asked a similar kind of a question, but in a different way. Again, I will go and iterate how this kind of question can be asked in a different way and how you should go and approach that particular problem statement as well. Without further delay, in case you folks like to have one-to-one connect with me, you can do that on the top mate. You can scan the QR code and please connect with me on the top mate. As soon as you scan this QR code, you will be landed up on this page where there will be two options. First one is to have one-to-one connect, and another option to have the digital products also available, which you can purchase to enhance your knowledge on the Salesforce. The whatever the code that we are building today, it will be available with this interview prep guide. So the code that we are writing to solve the today's interview scenario, it will be available with this guide. Not only this guide will have the scenario based answer, but also this guide have more than 350 plus Salesforce interview question, which I personally believe can definitely help you to boost up your interview preparation. So you guys should definitely go over this guide and definitely practice the questions as well as the detailed answers available in this guide. So this guide is comprised of the admin based question, Apex based question, LWC integration flows, scenario based question, LWC coding based questions as well, along with the detailed explanation. Moreover, in case you folks like to connect with a wider community where the like-minded people do discuss their Salesforce queries, then you can also join the Telegram channel as well. The link of both of these is available in the video description. You can get that connected from there as well. Now, let's go over the scenario for today. The scenario says that you want to build a Lightning Web component to provide a real-time dynamic view of the recent cases. What does it mean that as soon as the new case has been added into your org, your Lightning Web component should provide the dynamic and the real-time view. For example, what they are mentioning that in their org, the cases are created from the different channels like from email to case, web to case, API, manual creation. There are lots of different channels from where the cases are getting created. But they do have one standard component available on their homepage using which they are viewing whatever the recent cases has been created. And they want that list should be automatically refreshed as soon as the new case is created inside the Salesforce. As I said, this one type of question can be asked in a different ways as well. Few of them says that I have to go and pass the data from one page to another page, right? Let's say my case is getting created in the one page and I want my lightning component, which is available on the another page. It should be automatically refreshed, right? So what you guys think, how we can go and implement the solution for this? Again, if you know the answer, pause the video, put your solution, and then resume the video to validate whether it is coming up as expected or not. So the solution for this problem here is what we will do, we will take the help of the platform event. Now you guys can also answer why platform event, why not the change data capture? Because in the case of platform event, as a developer, we do have the control when the event should be fired, right? And their ask is that the table should be updated whenever the new case is created. But in the case of change data capture, the event will fire not only on the update, but also on the, sorry, not only on the insert, but also on the update and delete. As we don't have that kind of a control when the event should be fired with the change data capture, in this scenario, we go for the platform event. Again, if the platform event and the change data capture, these are the very new concepts for you, I do have a very detailed playlist available on my channel, which specifically talks about the platform event as well as the change data capture. Do check that out, and I will also put the link in the video description for both of them as well. So as a part of first step, we will be creating the platform event in our org, and I'll be only putting one field in that platform event with the case ID. Second thing is either using the trigger or the flow, I will be publishing the platform event. In today's demo, I will be taking the help of the flow to publish the platform event. And finally, what I will be doing here is I will be subscribed to the platform event using the Lightning Web component as well, so that I can show you the updated list view as well. Before I jump directly into the solution, let me show you how these things works, right? And then we will see how we can go and implement this for a real-time scenario as well. So coming to the org, let's say this is the component that we will be building up today, which is responsible to go and show you the real-time case list. What I am doing here is in another tab, I will be creating the case. As I said, the case can be created from the multiple channel. For the demo purpose, I will be creating the case manually. So I'll be clicking on the new case. Let's say I'll be putting some contact and putting the type as mechanical, origin, let's say email, and working. And here I'll be putting the real time is publish, okay, as a subject, and clicking on save. So what is happening here is as soon as we are publishing the case, my table got refreshed, and here you can see I do have that case number is coming up here. I do have that case number is coming up here. This is how you can go and dynamically refresh the table with the help of the platform event. So this is a solution that we will be building in the today's video. So what all different things that needs to be done? As I said, the very first thing that we will be doing here is, and let me close this, we will be creating the platform event. What I have done in advance, I have already created the platform event. If you don't know how to create the platform event, what you have to do from the setup menu, you have to go here and search for the platform event and then take the option of new. This is the name of the platform event that I have given. Publish behavior I have taken here as the publish immediately. Ideally, it should be the publish committed, because I want the event should be published only and only when the record is successfully committed. So here I'll be putting the publish behavior once the record has been committed. Then and then only I want it should be updated on the page. Another settings I'm keeping here as the default one. I'm not changing anything. Next thing here is I will be creating one custom field of type case ID. It's a text field. As simple as is the way you create the custom object and the custom field, the experience is kind of the same. Only difference here is the API name is __e as compared to the custom object. Okay, so this is the very first step that you have to do. Second step, you have to go and publish the platform event, and I will be doing that publish using the flows. So navigating to the flows, when my event should be published, as soon as the case will be created inside the system, I want the event should be published. So navigating to the flow, and here I will be setting up the new flow on the case object. So I'll be going for the record triggered flow, and as soon as the case is created, right, I will be publishing the platform event. So I'll be taking the option of is created, right, and moving it down. So here I go and publish the platform event. How to publish the platform event? Very simple. You have to simply go and create the record element, create record element, and then here you can go and put the publish platform event on case creation, right? So I'll be taking the option of manually. What is the platform event name that we have created? We have created here the name as case created platform event. And in this case created platform event, I do have the one field with the name of case ID that I'll be populating from the triggered case.id, right? So this is how I'll be publishing the platform event. Definitely you can go here, add the fault path and do all the kind of error handling as well. I'm not going into that path because that's not the motive of this particular video. But in the real time, you will be definitely doing the error handling on your flow as well. Here I go and clicked on save and putting the flow as publish platform event on case creation, clicking on save. So what will happen? Automatically the event will be published as soon as the case will be created inside the system. Now my job here is to go and get the platform event which is published. So clicking on activate, and now I will start implementing the code which is responsible to go and build the platform event as well. So here I go and start writing down the code on the Explorer. So what are the different things that needs to be done here? the very first step that I will be doing here is I will be getting the list of cases. Again, is they have given how many cases should be fetched? Let me go and check the problem statement. No, they have not given any particular list how many cases should be shown. So I am taking some random number at this moment. Let's say I want to go and show the last recent 10 cases which has been created. Okay, so very first thing I will be creating the Apex class which is responsible to go and fetch the cases. So let me go and type here create Apex class, naming the Apex class as real time case controller, right? And this Apex class is having one aura enabled method at the rate aura enabled method with the cacheable equal to true, which is responsible to go and get the new cases, right? And I want to get the new cases with the help of from the case object. Again, what I'll be doing here is I'll be putting the limit. So here, let's say I do have an integer as the record limit. Whatever the limit that we are getting, accordingly we will go and fetch the cases, and then I will be returning those cases as well. Another thing that I am putting up here is if the record limit is null or record limit is 0, I will be assigning the default value of the record limit to, let's say, 20. Right? Otherwise, whatever the input value that we are getting, accordingly we go and put the record limit. Right? I will be putting the return statement, and in my return statement here I will be having the few of the fields like select ID, comma, case number, comma, priority, comma, status, right, comma, type from case object, right? But how many records that I need to get? I need to go and get the record based on the limit. Another thing here is I want it should be ordered by based on the created date. So let me go and okay, this is another filter that you can ask, although they have not asked it, but if you want to, you can have that filter. The key part here is you want this should be sorted based on the created date in the descending order, and here you will have the limit, how many records that you want to display. Okay, so here I go and put the colon. Now the next thing here is let me go and deploy this because there is nothing else that needs to be done in this component except we will be having the case records that we are returning. So here I go and deploy this. Now I will be invoking this component from my Lightning Web component, right? So creating the Lightning Web component now, which is responsible to get the real time case view. Okay, this is the component that I will be building here. And in this component, the very first thing I will go and read the Apex class. Import get new cases, right? This is the Apex class that I will be building. And what I am doing here is with the help of wire decorator, I will be invoking that Apex class, right? And okay, before I go and do that, let me accept one API parameter with the name of record limit. Okay, and I'm initializing that value at this moment as 20. As I'm using the API decorator, you can also expose to this parameter to the app builder and get the value. I'm not doing all those stuff. I have already shown you in the past videos how I can do that. The major understanding that you folks should have this video is how to subscribe to the platform event using the Lightning Web component and then automatically refresh the page. That's the catch of this video rather than understanding how to dynamically go and get the record limits and all those stuff. Okay, so here I'll be using the wire decorator, right? And I'll be calling the method get new cases and passing the record limit. I'll be passing this value under that record limit. Right, let me check if the parameter name is the correct record limit, and I'll be passing this value here. Now, whatever the value that I am getting here, I am storing this value into the property. Now, there are two things that I will check. let me navigate to my HTML file. Here I will be putting the template, or rather than putting the template, let me first go and put the Lightning app builder, Lightning card, title, real-time cases. Yeah. And let me go and get rid of it and closing the card. After that, I will be adding the div component, which is responsible to add the padding to the component. Okay, I don't want to have any button here, so let me go and get rid of button. Now here I'll be checking whether I am getting the data or I am having the error. So template LWC if, how I can check for the data or error. So we are storing the response into the cases property. So here I go and check for the cases. If the records are available in the cases, we are having the cases dot data. Right? Similarly, in case we are having an error, then I'll be putting up the else if. My bad. I have messed up with the syntax. Template LWC if is equal to, because of intelligence getting confused. So let me first go and close the div tag, and here I'll be putting the template LWC if whether I am having the cases, or now I'll be checking if not cases, then whether I will be having the error. So how I can check that? Using the dot data, and here I'll be putting the dot error. I believe the property that we have used here is the cases only, so that's correct. Now in the case of error, I'll be putting up the error message. Very simple. Error while loading the cases. Right, but in the case of data, here I will go and use the Lightning data table to go and display the data. So I have already shown you the multiple examples on my series how you can use the Lightning data table. Right, again, I also don't remember the syntax. I generally go to the component library to go and get the Lightning data table syntax. Navigating here, looking for the data table. This is how my table should come up. Navigating here and pasting it here. Right? The key field should be the ID. I should be the capital. So here I go and put the ID. Data is something which is available in the cases.data. So here I'll be putting the cases.data. Columns structure, we have to go and define it. There are a few other things that I want to do. I want to hide the checkbox column. So I'll be putting the value as true. And I also want to show the row number column as well. Here again, I am putting that as a. Now the next thing that we have to do here is we have to go and design the columns. So navigating here, this is how the column structure should come up. And navigating to the JavaScript file, putting the column structure. Whatever I am doing as of now, it's very basic, right? We have done this multiple times in the past videos as well. I'm just making the skeleton ready so that we can go and add the new logic of this publishing now. Okay, so what all different things that you want to display? I want to go and display the case number. Okay, uh, subject, priority, what else you are getting, status, and the type. So here I'll be putting the status and as well as the type. Okay, so the field number is case number, subject, priority, status. Field name must be the API name and the label name can be anything. Okay, but this must be the API name. Type, if in case you are not putting any type, the default type is always the text, and I'm okay with the default type in all the columns. So I am removing out the type parameter from everywhere. right? And this is also the type is not required. And here also the type is not required. So we have defined the columns, and now let me go and put these columns as a reactive property too. Okay, very simple Lightning Web Component, which is getting the data from the controller and putting it on the UI. Now let me go and expose this component. Go define the targets, putting the target here as the, let me put that on the app page and deploy this. Now let me go and add that component on the page. So navigating to the application, clicking on edit page, and we'll add that component here. Right, and here I go and drag and drop that component which is responsible to go and display the cases. Okay, I'm not sure why we are not getting the subject. Might be the API name is not correct, but that's fine. We can go and easily figure that out. Are we querying the subject? No, we are not querying the subject. That's why. So here I go and query the subject and deploy this. Now, that is not the main problem. The main problem now here is how we can subscribe our Lightning Web Component to go and display the real-time cases. And for that, what we will be doing here is we will be subscribing to the platform event. How to subscribe to the platform event? It's very simple. What you have to do here is come to the component library, and here you have to look for the EMP API. This is the connector that Salesforce have provided, using which you can go and subscribe to the streaming channel. How to subscribe to the streaming channel? The very first thing what you have to do in your code, you have to go and import all those stuff. These are the methods that you are getting from the EMP API connector. You have to make sure that you are importing all these methods. Right now, the next thing that you have to do here is you have to go and perform the subscription. So to perform the subscription, very first thing you have to go and define the channel name. So what is the channel name in your of your component? For my component, the channel name is, I can easily get it from the here. For the platform event, the channel name always starts with the /event. Guys, let me know in the comment section for the change data capture, how the platform event will start. Okay, so what is the prefix for the platform for the change data capture? So coming to the platform event, this is the event that we have created, right? So it will always be the /event. Right, and this is where you have to tell me what you will replace from the /event in the case of change data capture, and here you will be putting up the name of the event. So this is how you have to first go and put the channel name. Coming back here, you will be putting up the two flags: is subscribe disabled as is subscribe enabled. At this moment we don't need it. Let's see if we need that flag down the line. Another thing here is I will be putting up the using this subscription method. So here I go and define one more property with the name of subscription as an empty object. Moving further, what I need to do as a part of first step here is I need to go and register the error listener. So what I am doing here is I am simply directly copying this method and putting this lifecycle hook method, which is responsible to register the error listener. Now let's go to this method and try to understand what they are doing in the register error listener method. In this method, the very first thing that they are doing here is they are registering the error. For example, while loading the EMP API, if any error occurred, they are simply registering that error. So that is the very first step that you have to do. Second thing that you have to do in the connected callback here is you have to go and handle the subscription. So to do that, I will be invoking another method from here, this dot handle subscribe method, which is responsible to go and handle the subscription. So let me go and copy this method, which is responsible to handle the subscription. And now the major part of the code that we have to write down in the handling of the subscription only. So here I go and put that method here, handle subscription. Again, what is the first thing that we do have in this method is the callback method. So for the callback method here, they are using the function declaration. I don't want to go and use the function declaration. Let me change that to arrow function. So here I'll be using the arrow function instead of the function declaration, right? Where I am having the response that I am printing up here, whatever the new message has been received. Now, as soon as the message has been received, what I want to do here is I have to go and process that message as well. So for that, I will be creating another method that is the, let's say, handle platform event method. And this method is responsible to process the error message. So process the response that we are getting. Okay, so I will come back to this method later, right? But what I will do at this moment here is I will simply go and invoke this method as soon as we are receiving the message. Now, coming to the next line, what we are doing here is we are subscribing to the channel, passing the another parameter as the -1 followed by the message callback. No changes here. Dot then when you are getting the response. Right now, here again I am printing what is the channel detail. If I am getting the successful response, I try to access a few of the information about from this channel, right? So that's what I will be doing up here. Then another thing that I am doing here is I have defined one subscription variable here, right? In that subscription variable, I am storing the response. Now, the next thing that we have to do, this toggle subscription button, it is something coming up from their own custom logic that they have explained in that video. So I am not going into that path. Okay, but there's a possibility that the subscription can fail and they have not handled that part as well. So what I will do here, I will go and put the catch, and here I will be putting up the error so that in case the subscription has been failed, what we are doing here is we are having the error message. What is the reason of the failure? Now, again, as I said, I will come back to this method later. So we have done the subscription. Similarly, what we have to do, we have to perform the unsubscription as well. So to perform the unsubscription, this is the method that I will be invoking, which is responsible to perform the unsubscription. Right, so this what this method will do, again, it is first calling the toggle. We don't need that toggle method. It's a custom functionality. In that method, what they are doing here is whatever the subscription that we have stored, they are unsubscribing that subscription here, right? And that's it. That's the only thing that they are doing in this method. Another thing that I want to do in this method here is when this method should be invoked, like our subscription is happening whenever the component is loaded. Similarly, I want the unsubscription to happen whenever the component is removed from the DOM. So here I will be using the disconnected callback method, which is responsible to go and unsubscribe the component. Okay, so this is how we are handling the unsubscription part. Now, as I said, the only logic that we have to write down is our platform event method, right? What kind of payload that we are getting, how we are processing that payload, all those details needs to be processed under this method. Okay, so what I will do here is as soon as the event has been received, what I need to do here is let me first go and try to access the case ID. Again, it's not required because in our scenario, as soon as the event has been received, we have to go and refresh the page. But let's check whether the case ID is available or not. If the case ID is available, then and then only we go and refresh the page. Okay, so here I go and do that everything in the try catch block. So what is the first thing that I will be doing here is I will try to access the payload. Okay, before I even go and try to access the payload, let me first show you how that payload looks like. If I'm not wrong, we are not printing that payload here. Okay, so let me go and print that payload. Console.log. Okay, platform event received json.stringify the response. This is how I am printing the payload. So let's go and deploy this and see till here if everything is coming up as expected or not. whether my platform event is received and we are able to successfully access the payload or not. Okay. So coming back here, my org. Okay, what I am doing now here is into another tab. I will be going and publishing the platform event. So this page is responsible to go and publish the platform event. So let me navigate to the cases. I will be creating the case and see if the platform event is getting published or not. Okay, and origin phone, validate platform event and clicking on save. What is the error? Contact name. It's not required, so let's get rid of it and click on save. Okay, I missed to refresh the page. I'm not sure whether the event will be captured. Ideally, I should go and clear the cache and then I should be ready. Let me go and do this one more time because I have not refreshed the page because of the cache. It might not be published, but let me go and create the new case with the origin. And here I'm putting the test platform event and clicking on save. Navigating to the console window, let's see if anything is coming up in the console. Right, you guys can see we have received the platform event here, right? If I go and zoom this is how the new message has been received. In my payload, you can see I do have the case ID of the newly created case as well, right? So this is how my payload will look like, which is having everything based on the details that we have to go and capture. So how I can now go and access this particular case ID. So what I will to do here is to access the case ID using the AMP API. Very first thing I will go and check if the response.data is available or not. Okay, so here I go and check. Let me navigate here. So const event data is equal to, so what is the path? Under the response, I do have the data, and under the data, I do have the payload, right? So here I'll be putting the response. Under the response, if the data is available, then from the data, I will be accessing the payload. Otherwise, here I'll be putting the value as null. Now, it's not required. Okay, so if the event data is available, okay, this operator will check if the property is available or not. In case it is not, it will not work. Okay, I believe this should work. Let's give a shot. Okay, if the event data is available, then what I will be doing here is I will be extracting the case ID from the event data, right? So here I'll be putting the const case ID, and under the payload, what I do have this field with the name of case ID, right? Now, with the case ID, what I will do the next thing here is I will check if the case ID is available. Right? If they are able to subscribe and the case ID is available, then what I will do, I will go and I will go and get the latest data. To get the latest data, here I will be taking the help of another Lightning Web component, out of the box component, that is the refresh apex. So here I will be importing the refresh apex from the Salesforce Apex, right? And what I will do, I will go and invoke this refresh Apex from here. With the help of this refresh Apex, I will be passing the output of the wire decorator, which is responsible to go and get the updated record. So here I go and put, let me make this method async because refresh Apex is an async, it's a asynchronous method, right? So async, and here I will be putting the await refresh apex and passing here the output of the wire decorator. The output of the wire decorator here is the cases. So here I'll be passing the cases. Another thing that I will do here is I will go and display the toast message as well, There's something we have done many times now, but it will add the closure to our problem statement as well. So platform show toast event. This is what I will be importing in my component. And this is the method that I will be building, which is responsible to go and show the toast message. Again, the different parameters that this method should have here is the title, message, and the variant. And here again, I'll be putting the title, message, and the variant, right? And what I will be doing here is I will simply invoking this method here. Okay, so here I go and invoke this method, this dot show test. Okay, let's review the changes that we have done. So what we have done here is after we have received the platform event, we are reading the payload data. We are checking if the event data is available. In case the event data is available, we are trying to access the case ID. Okay, one issue that I can see here is this case ID field. It should be the record. It should be the field available on the platform event. Let's validate that from our payload, whether it's correct or not. Okay, you can see this should be the case ID field, might be because of the IntelliSense we are using the wrong field here. So here I will put in that case ID field, and if the case ID is available that we are storing, then what we are doing here is with the help of refresh apex that we have already imported here, we are refreshing the table by asking the component to go and get the updated list of the cases. So here I go and deploy this. Now let's go and validate whether it is coming up as expected or not. So my component has been deployed. Let me go and close this, clear the cache and refresh the page. Let's validate. So what I will do, I will go and create another case here, a new case, which is having the origin as phone and subject as test platform event on another tab. And then here I go and clicked on save. So you can see the new case has been created. We are automatically getting the notification and my table has been refreshed to go and show the latest case as well. So folks, this is how we can go and build the component which dynamically refresh whenever the changes has been happened across the org via any channel. This is more like a real-time scenario. Also in the projects, we do have that kind of a requirement where we need to take the help of the platform event and create the dynamic component. I hope you folks have found this video helpful. Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And as I said, if you want to download the code that we have built in the today's session, you can do that from the interview prep guide, where already more than 350 plus questions are available from the different topics of the Salesforce. For the time being, thank you. Have a good time.